Okay guys, so disregard these paracord bracelets over here.
That's for the
because
next video.
today we're going to be talking about our belts. And this is something that we've always kind of diverted on or diverged on in thoughts like she likes different belts than I do, and we just like different styles overall. And so today we thought we'd talk about our kind of styles and hope give you guys some ideas on just different belt options and what you guys can run yourselves. So
okay, without any further ado, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more of this Alaskan awesomeness. Let's get into this.
You only have one belt here, but that's because you packed another one away. But
and I don't want to dig it out right now.
I know. So let's talk about your belts first. And you can even talk about the one that I'm actually wearing right now just a little bit.
Okay, so this is the Gunner utility belt. This is probably my favorite belt of all, especially for Carhartts and different things. I mean, I wear it with jeans sometimes, but I have my jean belt for when I do wear jeans, and I'll get to that in a moment. But this is my outdoor belt. It's my utility belt. I like it because it's thicker than this.
That's the Highland,
but it's thinner than the
Old World Harness.
The Old World Harness was good, and I used it for quite a while, but it was super thick. It was just too thick for my little waist. I also like this that has infinite amount of adjustments, so I could also use it as a tourniquet if I needed to.
Or you could just use it for straps.
Or for straps, I could.
Just strap things down, or if you need to compact something, make it tighter. That is true. It's a utility belt.
It is a utility belt. I like the ring on the buckle, and then I like that we modded a keeper onto it. I like keepers on my belts because it keeps your clothes or your skin from getting pinched when you go to fasten the belt.
At a rapid speed.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this belt. It holds the Glock really nicely. It doesn't have a lot of give to it.
And I think that's kind of one of the things that you like. Well, it holds like the heavier Glocks up, and this is a 14-ounce leather is the primary thing. So the one I'm wearing right now is 18-ounce, and then this one's 12-ounce. So you know, this one's somewhere in that medium zone. It's not quite dead in the middle, but it's in the middle in between those two. And we found that, especially her, she finds that it can hold up a lot of weight.
But it's not like super bulky. Like I don't like the click belt because it's just too bulky for my taste.
That's very
And the
thin.
Old World Harness, I can wear it. It's really thick though, like in width, and it's just really stiff. It pinches into my hips when I wear it. I don't like it because it doesn't have enough give. But it's also not like as thick as the
Old World
Harness, which I will wear sometimes because it has more give than this thing. This thing is like it's like a trampoline, you guys. It is a good belt, but I just don't like it at all.
I like it a lot. But anyways, so
my other belt though, and I would get it out, and you've seen it before, I have other videos of it, is my hobble belt, and it's made out of a cinch strap off of a saddle, and it's got rings in it to turn into hobbles for horses. And I love that belt, one, because it's very much a horse tool, and made out of horse stuff, but two, I love it because it's very comfortable, and I can wear it with Carhartts, but it's not my favorite, but it's the perfect belt for me to wear with jeans. It just looks nice, it's really comfortable. So I've been wearing that belt for almost 2 years now, and I really like it too, but this is superior when it comes to like guns. I mean, the hobble belt does hold up the Glock really well when I'm wearing jeans, like I tested yesterday at church, but the Gunner utility belt is superior as like an adventure belt for like my Carhartt pants. So I have my preferences, so.
Yeah. And now onto my preferences. So as you guys can see, both of these are thinner belts, and I am wearing an 18-ounce, but that's only because I'm holding up a gun, and I have to hold up a few things that I'm going to be carrying while doing this video.
Like your pants, just kidding.
Well, not really those, but
I'm just teasing you.
Like my gun and mag holster or like mag holder and stuff like that. So anyways, that's why I'm wearing that belt. But traditionally or normally I do not wear thick leather belts.
Yeah, usually
even this one, I've worn this one for a little bit, but it's really just too thick for me. And so I prefer very, very thin belts. The width is not super critical to me. Like these two are rather, especially this one's rather wide. This one's like a 2-inch width on it, and I find that to be just fine for me personally. But I really don't like thick belts. I really like very, very thin belts, and it's kind of because I've come from a synthetic belt background where most of the belts I've ran are not quite click belts. Like they don't have a Cobra buckle to them, but they are very thin belts overall, and so I naturally like a very thin belt. So
That
when I
belt
did
is
go
really
over,
good for outdoorsy stuff.
it is, and this is my go-to outdoors belt. This is kind of like my go-to everyday carry belt because it looks nice, it looks
It's very
dressy.
gentlemanly. It
Yes,
looks
it is.
great when he goes to church with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
it looks really nice and looks very presentable, but at the same time, it can still hold up, you know, a gun, and like a lighter gun, not quite the 21, but it can hold up a Glock 19, and so it can hold up a lighter gun. It does EDC situations better, and it's an overall easier belt to use, and it's a little bit more comfortable than the click belt.
I also
So-
love that it's made out of the same kind of leather as my really nice English bridle that I use for
Yes,
my
this
riding.
is made out of English bridle leather. So
It's
once again, going
beautiful.
back to the horse background, she really likes horse stuff. I mean, I just thought it was a very beautiful leather, and English bridle leather is very beautiful naturally. So
I like that belt. I mean, I don't like wearing it, but I like the belt because it reminds me of my bridles.
yeah, and I think this one's just a little bit too thin in width for you.
It is.
Like,
I tried to wear it, and it would either ride down too low, but if I tightened it too tight, it would come up above my hips, and it would like tighten around my waist.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this.
yeah, this one's only an inch and a quarter, so it's a quite thin
This is
belt.
just a better width for me.
Yeah, and so overall though, I do really like it, and it sits and it fits me very well. So that's my go-to EDC belt for the most part, but whenever I'm going out and adventuring, whenever I'm out backpacking, hiking, hunting, and I'm carrying like my PSK plus all my normal
Your
hunting
Leatherman
stuff,
surge,
or
your mags, your gun, everything else.
basically. Yeah, and this one does a way better job at holding up heavier loads, and once again, it's very thin, but yet it's still very rigid. So this tends to be my adventure belt, and I really do love both of these belts. And like I said, my continuing trend is that I like really thin belts, and I was impressed by this one in particular, that it's such a thin leather, but yet it still is very stiff. Of course, it has more give than this one because it is leather, but it still is quite rigid, and like I said, it can hold up a fully loaded Glock, plus a double mag holster, and a Leatherman surge on an everyday basis, and there's very little twist and give to it. The only thing I have to do for my Glock 19 to run at its best is that with the I actually got this idea from a picture, but with the belt, so your belt has belt loops to help facilitate your belt being held on your hips or your waist. And so what I do is that basically I loop the gun, or I loop the holster loop, and then I loop the belt through the holster loop, one of them, and then I loop it through the belt loop on the pants, and then I loop it through the other belt loop on the holster. So basically there's 3 attachment points or contact points that gun is riding on. So when it puts pressure, sideways pressure on your belt, or
Also,
on
that
you,
the belt loop keeps it from like wiggling back
well,
and
that's
forth.
exactly it.
My
So-
holster kind of clamps into place, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But yours could.
Well,
be-
also you use thicker belts too in
That's
general.
true, yeah.
So, but like I said, what I do to create or prevent that lateral kind of shift on the belt, or to keep the gun from sagging off my hip, is that I just give it 3 contact points, and so it can technically support. Just like the belt can support the gun, but there is a little bit of sag to it because the gun is pretty heavy. It's close to
It
2
is.
pounds. But when I do it that way, in that way that I carry it, it's still perfectly comfortable, very comfortable actually, but it gives it those 3 contact points, so the holster is actually pulling on the pants and the belt at the same time. So it's a very rigid, and I can run at full sprint without the gun wobbling and shaking around and being crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the only thing I do to this belt to make it work completely for me. But anyways, guys, that's all for now.
Yep.
God bless.
And
we're
we're out.